Is there something in your life that you want to change, but you're not quite sure whether you're ready to or not? Well, stay tuned because in this video, I'm going to take you through the stages of change. Whether you want to change something big or something small in your life, this video will help you to ascertain what step you're at and what you need to do next in order to get to that stage where you're ready to make the change that you want to make in order to eliminate stress from your life. My name is Laura Stevenson. I'm a clinical psychohypnotherapist, as well as a brain working recursive therapist. I work with over 40-year-olds who are stressed out, emotionally exhausted, self-worth has been impacted by chronic stress, and whose relationships have been impacted as a result of constant life challenges. I help people get back on track, as well as find new ways to find peace of mind, as well as live a much happier life. So in this video, we're going to look at what the theoretical model of change is, okay? It's not going to make the decisions for you, but regardless of whether you want to change what you're eating, how much you move, or whether you want to change something big, like do you change jobs? Do you leave your partner? Do you want to have children? Do you want to give up drugs, alcohol, shopping, sex, anything else that is maladaptive, internet, porn, etc., etc.? Okay, so whether it's big or small, the important thing is that it is causing you stress in your life, and it's either causing you stress, it's causing you self-loathing, it's causing you to feel shame, and it's holding you back from living the life that you want to live. But this will help you to understand where you're at right now and how to get to the next stage. So let me just share my screen with you. Okay, so in this model, we are going to talk about each stage. So the first stage that we're going to start at is the pre-contemplation stage. Now, pre-contemplation means that we're not really sure that we have a problem. Okay, we don't really know, we're not really aware of it. We're happily doing what we want, what we're doing, thinking that life is great for us. And this is the first part of the process. Perhaps somebody has mentioned to you that you need to change, that you could do with changing your behavior. And the thing that you would find yourself saying is probably no. You are not ready to change, and you're having far too much fun, and you're enjoying what you're doing, and it helps you feel good. So you're not giving it up. Okay, that's stage one. Stage two is contemplation. Perhaps you're starting to see the impact of the decisions that you've been making or the behaviors that you've been partaking in, how they are not leading to that state of peace of mind that you're looking for, or that happiness that you're looking for, or maybe that they're making your relationships in your life argumentative, or not as much fun, or just frustrating. Okay, and at this stage, you think maybe there's a possibility that I need to change what I'm doing here, but you're not quite committed to doing it. You're thinking about it, and perhaps at this stage, you would do some research. What are the types of things that would help you? Who is around? What do you want to do? What testimonials have you found? And is it really worth giving up the thing that brings you joy? What would the benefits of that outweigh the benefits that you get from what you're doing right now? Okay, so that is at your contemplation stage. Then to the next stage, where you've decided that, okay, maybe the benefits would outweigh the cost of what you're doing, and you are now getting ready to start to take some action. So perhaps you've decided that you are going to see a therapist, or maybe you are going to go to a community club, or you're going to start at the gym, or you're going to get a personal trainer, or you're going to sit down and talk with your partner about what's frustrating you, etc. So at this stage, you will lay out the steps that you're going to take. Okay, so I think that you could say, one of the things you could say to yourself is, well, now that I've done all that research, I'm going to contact that person trainer. I'm going to contact that therapist, or I'm going to start writing in a journal. So I'll buy the journal. So you're preparing to take the action to make the change. Okay. You could exit at this stage. You could prepare all of this and decide that again, that it's not worth it. And you go back to the pre-contemplation stage. Okay. Or you could move on to taking action. The action stage, you are doing it. So you have made the appointment, you are going to the meetings or the gym, or you are sitting down with your partner, having the conversation, something like that. But the important thing is that you are taking the action. You are working towards becoming the benefits that you ascertained changing would be over here by taking this action. Okay. Now, what could happen is that you could exit here, or you could relapse or lapse. Okay. So, and now this isn't a sign of failure. It's a sign of perhaps what you didn't work, or the emotional benefit didn't actually outweigh what the behavior was that you were doing. And so you went back to self-soothe or to numb or whatever you were using that behavior for to manage your stress or to manage that feeling of overwhelm or feeling of anxiety or trauma, etc. Okay. So you either say you fell off the wagon, you gave up, or something happened and you exited the process at this stage. Okay, that could mean that you could then go back to preparation and action, etc. Or you could go right back into pre-contemplation. It doesn't mean to say that what you did will never work. It may mean that you just didn't get the right thing, or you didn't find the right emotion to hang on to in order to give up. So if you imagine, if we're filled with many parts, and the part of us that we're trying to keep safe with the behavior that we're taking has gone, hang on a minute, this isn't going to work out for me. This is far too scary. We're going to what we were doing before. So you haven't managed to rewire your brain. And this is one of the things that we do really well with BWRT, is that we help you to rewire your brain in order to take the behaviors that you don't want, to change them into behaviors that you do want by rewiring the neural circuits in your brain. Okay, so it makes it easier to make these types of changes. Now, let's say you don't relapse, or even if you do and you get back on the horse, so to speak, you'd go into the maintenance phase. And the maintenance phase is every single day I start again. Okay, every single day I keep doing what I did the day before. It's consistency. It's one foot in front of the other, knowing that you are making the change, that you've chosen this path. And I'm not saying it's easy. And this is probably the hardest part of the whole process. Now, this isn't a linear process. As you can see, it goes around and around, and you can come in and go out at any stage here. But the important thing is that when you are changing, is that you commit to yourself that regardless of if you fall out, you get back into this stage of change. Or if you were trying to do it alone, that you get the support that you need. We're inherently social creatures. And so community works very, very effectively in order to support change. But when you're at the maintenance phase and even the action phase, you want people to support you who are who have a positive way of thinking, or who already embody the change that you want to make, in order for you to keep going on the path that you want to go to. It's very hard for us to continually do things by ourselves and expect to stay on the wagon, particularly if another major stressor comes along. You may find that you have got, let's say you've gone through this process and you're at maintenance for 10 years already, and then all of a sudden something major happens, perhaps it's grief or divorce, and you're just completely knocked off your feet, and so you start again. Okay, so it's really important that you you get the support that you need. But also, it could be that instead of it being something new that came along, you may not have addressed the underlying problem that was driving that behavior. And so let's say, for example, you use this stage of change and you're going through change and you decide that you're going to give up alcohol. And you give up alcohol and you feel really great, but instead you take up shopping, or instead you take up eating, or instead you take up going out on random dates and sleeping with everybody that you can find, okay, because that makes you feel good. So all you've done there is change one behavior for another. So it's important that you then understand that you haven't really addressed the underlying cause of what was driving the need to make the change in the first place. And that's really where therapy can help you. It will give you the reflection of and the understanding of why you're doing what you're doing, and then will help you to make the changes through all of these stages. Are you ready? What are the benefits? Do they outweigh the benefits of continuing to do what you are doing? What steps could you take? What are all the possible solutions? What are the actions that you will need to do? And what are the maintenance? And how do you rebuild your life in a positive way so as to avoid going back into relapse and starting again? So I hope you found this useful. Drop me a comment or a private message if you've got any questions. I love to answer questions and to help you out if there's anything that hasn't been clear. You can also book a free confidential consultation with me to discuss your unique situation and to decide whether therapy would be the right choice for you. I do a number of different therapies, and so all of my treatments are tailored to you specifically. So I look forward to hearing from you, and share this if you found it helpful. Share it with somebody who may need it, or drop me a comment or a private message. I'll see you next time. Take care.